Pheonyx, not Phoenix. Lizzie? No, say it right. That is for
That's for you.
Good. Yay. Love it. Peter, I don't think that one's taken.
Oh, is that?
I think
Yeah,
that's set
that's
up for you.
yours.
We were setting up. So that's okay. Leave that one there. Maybe there'll be one more. We'll leave that open for the ones who couldn't be here this morning. So, yeah, so to be able to drop into that space of centeredness, to be able to drop, and it takes practice. I've been meditating personally myself probably for about 10 years as a conscious practice. Not that it will take any of you that long to get there, hopefully not. Hopefully you can get it in 10 months or weeks. But really what it's about being aware. It's about dropping your awareness in, which is why the opportunity to do that so often, especially when our awareness is everywhere right now, you know, whether it's conscious or unconscious, we're paying attention to what's going on in the world. You cannot not pay attention to what's happening in this day and age when we have, you know, cell phones and emails and Facebook and MySpace and news and people talking all around you, newspapers, all of the mediums of information. And I wrote an article about a year ago called the energy of light, of transmitting light energy. And within that energy is information. In fact, all energy is information. It's information for our minds, whether the energy is the vibration and the electricity, the very literal electricity of our thoughts, because we know now in this day and age that you can put machinery on and measure someone's brain waves, the electrical patterns and the grids. We know that the heart itself creates a certain amount of energy that pushes blood throughout these physical forms. So our thoughts, our physical bodies. And then there's something else. You know, our soul, our light body, our essence, our life, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really have an ownership on anything, but we all have a belief system, most of us, even most people on the planet, believe that it's not just we're here and then we're gone after the bodies are done. There are a few out there who do hold that belief and say, well, I guess we'll all know in the end, won't we? But it is a sense of vibration, of feeling our life force, our energy, our soul, our spirit. That's a word I like to use a lot, our spirit. And I use the word spirit in two forms, my own internal spirit and then spirit, source, God, higher power. And they're one and the same because we are a part of all that is. Just as much as I said last class, a couple of days ago, that how these physical bodies, everything that makes up your physical form came from this earth. All of the elements, all of the cells, all of the carbon-based atoms, which you are, and eventually all of your elements will go back into the earth. I don't care whether you decide to be cremated or buried or put out to sea, eventually it all gets reabsorbed. But your higher self, your essence, gets reabsorbed somewhere else into the greater. And the great part about what we're realizing right now is that we can connect with that higher source, that power. In fact, we do it in the opening meditation, the grounding and the tethering process that I guide you guys through when I say, pinpoint that star, see that star on the farthest edge of the universe. That's your connection to the great all is, the infinite mind, the wisdom of all, God, whatever. And so you can connect, and in fact you're always connected, but it is our awareness, when we drop our awareness from that space into this space, is when we connect. And that's what I do when I go close my eyes and I be blessed. And when I go into the essence of me, I go into the essence of my physical form, and I go into the essence of that which is within it, even more deeply. And it is a yummy feeling. Because I can feel my body tingle, I can feel my hands vibrate, I can feel my breath go in and out. And then I see things, and sometimes I see within, and sometimes I see beyond that star. And it's like, And when I'm in a place where I let my mind lead the process but not control what's going on, when I allow my mind to observe what's happening without judgment whatsoever, the ego sits back and goes, that's interesting. That's new. What is that? And now we can go into another place with the ego where if we're not used to doing this process, we go, oh crap, what is that? What is that? What is that feeling? I'm not used to that. Something wrong? Is something happening? Am I imagining this? And so on and so forth. And so the practice is to set that aside. And how do we do that? We go back into the breath. Shut up, I tell mom. Hush, calm down. The ego's like a little child sometimes. Likes to have a lot of fun. In fact, our egos are very, very playful when they're allowed to be. But there's a development also in our ego process because of the duality and the fear that's facing the world that it takes on that other role of having to feel like it has to protect us from something. And that's like having that 8-year-old child protect your adult self. It's limited. And so as you gain awareness, as you move through the process of becoming more aware of who you are and what it is that makes you up as a being, all of it, not just one piece of it, you begin to understand the differences between who you are and who you are and who you are. And all of that then becomes quite interesting, and you go, I am not my thoughts. I am not even my physical form. But I am something. Those are all pieces of this interesting puzzle called the human experience. And I can feel it. How do we do that? We connect with the feeling of all that is. And we don't become attached to any one or more. And we're moving through a time right now which is very exciting because more people are getting this conversation. Much more than 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and certainly much more than 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 years ago. Debatable. Thank you. I heard that from over here. Debatable. So we're remembering all the time, and yet we're also adding something new to the process. Why? Don't care. It is what it is. And I'm glad I'm here to be able to experience it. The why is because I chose to be. On some level. I chose to be in this space. I chose to offer this opportunity to other people who also want to choose. And it's really about making choices. So when someone says, I don't know how to do that, I say, well, the first thing is to learn how. How did you learn to walk? By trying. But then you had to crawl first. And before you had to crawl, you had to learn how to roll over. To get to a crawling position. Isn't that the most interesting experience to watch a baby trying to roll over? Just, and then they get it. You go, yay! You got it! And then what do? They're like, I see, I'm here, I want to get over there. Or they go, pick me up and take me over there. However it is, we go through the process of getting it. Eventually the child begins to walk. And then, if you're a parent, which I am not, but I've seen parents respond, they go, yay! And oh shit. He or she is walking now, that's old. Everything goes up on higher levels, corners get wrapped around, safety first, right? Well, because we know that even that process is going to take time, and that there's going to be falling down. And it's all about being able to connect and feel where we are in any given moment. And really let go of judgments around wherever you are. You are here because you're supposed to be here. And I mean literally in this room as well. It's literally wherever you are. And metaphysically where you are in your life. It's exciting. And And I will continue to toot that horn, despite a lot of the tragedies and pain that are going on in the world. It is not yours to carry. I want you to know that. It is yours to support and to send energy of love, light, support to all those people. And if you have someone personally involved in one of the tragic events that are going on around the planet, then do that even more. And if there is something physically for you to do, like send money or go there and or bring them to a safe space, then do that. But your life is yours to be owning right now. And that's true. And that's the wake-up call that is happening all around the planet. And people are going, something's got to change. We cannot keep putting the responsibility of our governments and our churches to take care of us. Or anyone, our spouse, our parents, our brothers or sisters. We first must do that for ourselves, and then we do better by doing that for others. You cannot give what you do not have. If you do not have it, then find it. And how do you find it? You start looking. And you're doing it already. Because you're at totally awesome Qigong. Divine breath form. And you're sharing your energies already in this space, and I appreciate you allowing me to share mine with you. So there's something I've been wanting to read. And so I'll close with this. Well, I'll close with the opening talk. Because it's so yummy. And I want people to hear this and share this. So close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath and just listen to these words. And we'll set this as our group intention today, and then we'll have an opportunity to set our personal ones as well. I sit on the edge of a grand precipice, somewhere between the sun and the moon and the stars. Satellites surrounding me in their orbits, coursing around this galaxy. I hear them beeping and chirping, and sending signals and sounds into the space around. I orbit. Not in a fixed journey around and around, but more elliptical, perhaps. I fly upon the edge of a knife. It's a delicate balance between being and doing and seeing. I am part of it here. But there is a greater part of me which understands that I am not from here, and yet I do belong here, for now. More like a job or a duty or an obligation, like when a mother holds a crying child, soothing the soul because it too belongs here, in her arms. It is her agreement to care and nurture, out of a deep love beyond words or even understanding sometimes. And so I course along, listening, hearing the cries of many a child, caring for the hearts of minds, and still pained mothers and fathers. And on that balance between the sun and the moon and the stars, I stand upon a narrow edge of light. Shall I leap? Of course. For it's what I've come here to do, so that you can too. Take a deep breath. And exhale out. Slowly open your eyes for a quick leap.